Metropole Debrief is a dialogue. Everyone has a say. Time now for your say. And this is Social Watch. We want to sample some of the feedback that you've been sharing online with regards to the new normal. What does the new normal look like to you? What are your new normal resolutions? Because as they've popularly said out there, the old normal is gone. And now we've ushered in a new normal. And one way or the other, we have to adapt, at least until a coronavirus cure is found. So let's head straight to Twitter and hear what some of you had to say with regards to how they intend to live their lives moving forward. At Monto Black Trek says, so much has changed in 2020 and so many questions, quite rightly, can't be answered right now. I have at least realized that whatever future I've had to let go of simply wasn't for me. Hashtag freedoms, hashtag life after lockdown. This is so true for very many people. We all had plans in 2019 December. Everybody wrote down what they wanted their 2020 to look like. But 2020, the first half of the year, as we have seen it, it hasn't been how we thought it would be. People have lost jobs, people have taken pay cuts, and some are unsure of what their career is going to look like. Industries are being disrupted. So she's just saying whatever she has to let go of isn't hers. And this is a good mentality, particularly if you're to start owning your situation and prepare for what is coming next. Let's take a look at another tweet. At the Batfly one says, hashtag new normal resolutions. For people like me, in a big and physical affection, have to unlearn greeting people with hugs and beso. So this is just the bat saying, they have to learn new habits. For example, greeting people. We all know we're used to handshakes, kugoteana, hugging people, but that has really changed. Anytime, even subconsciously, you try doing that with somebody, they say, hey man, corona. So people are becoming more and more conscious, and this looks like it's going to be the new normal. In France, people would hug and peck on the cheeks. Now that is not even possible. So people are adapting to a new normal. Let's take a look at another. There you go. At Fire Scathing says, quote, protect others from myself mindset, decrease unnecessary activities, keep up to date with the news, take a stand and don't be a bystander, hashtag new normal resolutions. Particularly the part where they say protect others from myself. We know most of the time we are tempted to go for gatherings, to go for parties, social gatherings, but this is where we are spreading the disease. So we are trying to protect other people from ourselves because we could be potential carriers of the viruses ourselves. Decrease unnecessary activities. If you don't have to go for that birthday party, you don't have to. You can have it virtually. Keep up to date with the news, you know. Be up to speed with current affairs, what's happening and what's the state of the nation. Take a stand and don't be a bystander. We all know that during this period, a lot of issues have come up with regards to coronavirus. A lot of questions are being asked with regards to healthcare sectors world over. So taking a stand, if it's asking the government to do better by providing doctors with PPEs, then you'll be on the right side of history. This is their new normal resolutions. Let's take a look at another resolution here. At Fortunate Side says, hashtag new normal resolutions. I see virtual meetings taking their turn in weddings, funerals, lobola negotiations, birthday celebrations, all the events we've gotten used to physical presence. Quite a deep point here, because Fortunate Side is saying, particularly look at lobola negotiations. These are dowry negotiations in South Africa. Imagine doing your dowry negotiation online, virtually via Zoom or Skype, but that is the new normal that we're living in. If the dowry has to be paid, then we're all going to converge on a screen and have the conversation, birthdays and all celebrations. Life as we knew it has gone digital. Most of the gatherings that needed us to be there physically have gone virtual, and Fortunate Side is saying she has to get used to this. This is her new normal resolutions, finding normalcy in the abnormality that is currently going on. Let's take a look at another tweet before we cross over to the streets. Alex Bottrill says, one of my new normal resolutions is to be more mindful of people to be more mindful of people whose work is undervalued by the economy and or the society. I am going to be better at letting people know that I appreciate them. This is a really solid point, particularly now we are seeing the shift in workplaces. People are losing jobs by taking pay cuts. Duties are really shifting based on technology and the demand that is currently right out there at this moment. And it's very important that people feel that they have a place in their workplace, that all the effort they're putting in is appreciated, and particularly those who have to risk to go out and do their work. It's good to know that all that effort and risk is appreciated. If we have another tweet, we'll take it, and then we cross over to the streets. Okay, there you go. At Aaron Tagarian says, totally considering everyone, including myself, as a potential carrier of the virus/viruses and other contagious elements, new normal resolutions. So this is the thing. Sometimes, like, people are trying to talk you into going to events with them or sitting with them, and then they ask, kwani nakukalia niko na corona? No, it's saying right now everyone is a potential carrier. So if you look at your neighbor as someone who might probably have coronavirus, then you might start taking the WHO guidelines very seriously, because some people are asymptomatic and you might not know who has the disease, and you end up contracting the disease out of sheer ignorance. Okay, so this is some of the thoughts that you guys have shared online with regards to new normal, and these are your new normal resolutions. But we want to cross over to the streets, and we want Vincent today to talk to you guys so that you can tell us, how does your new normal look like? We've looked at the resolutions, but how are you living your new normal life? This is Street Talk.
The government of Kenya, through the Ministry of Health, has advised people to have a culture change in order to flatten the COVID-19 virus curve. Now, this week on Street Talk, we'll be looking at some of these changes that people have had to make.
Well, times have changed, and I think that also means we have to change how we do things. It is very important that you realize you are living not for yourself but for other people, and especially for me with a toddler, with an infant, it is very difficult, because when you go home, you do not get a chance to greet them the first thing. You of course need to take a shower, get rid of the clothes you had the whole day, so then you're able to at least ensure you have minimized the risk of contracting coronavirus, if in case it was on anything that you're wearing. These are hard times. Look at me now with a mask on. This doesn't go away unless maybe I am eating, which is maybe 30 minutes in a day. I make sure that I have a mask on throughout the day, that I wash my hands every other minute I get a chance, and if I don't, I make sure I sanitize, because when you keep yourself safe, you're keeping your colleagues safe, and when your colleagues are safe, you are safe.
First of all, I don't allow my kids to venture out. You know, when they go out there and they play, they are likely to intermingle with the kids, so they are within the house. 2, I only come to town only when it is necessary. I avoid public transport. 3, I try to purchase most of the households myself, because I know I'm a bit careful. I'll sanitize, I'll wash my hands, I have my sanitizer here, so I'm trying to limit the interaction between my family and the other guys out there. Yeah, so that it is as minimum as possible. Yes. And also, because of the economic hard times, my disposable income is less, so I only buy what is a necessity.
Mask and sanitizer vendors have also made changes on how they package their products in order to reduce the risk of transmitting the virus.
Ilianza hii biashara venye corona ilianza. Tukinunua tukoangi tumeiweka kwa karatasi. Tunaenda tunanunua karatasi tunaisil kwa avoid mtu kushikashika. Juu hata saizi akiishika ikuwa hivi, haiwezi kuwa na effect. Juu akinunua yeye mwenyewe ndiye ataenda ajitolee karatasi. Na haitakuwa contaminated, haitakuwa imeshikwa na mtu. So hiyo ndio tuna avoid. Kitambo hatukuwa tunawekea karatasi, lakini venye tulikuja kujua kuna effect, sasa ndio tulikuwa tunaanza sasa kuziweka. Hizi zinakuanga hivi, hata hizi venye unaona hapa hivi, hatuwezi uzia customers zikuwa hivi. Though tunanunuanga hazikuangi zimewekwa hii karatasi. Sisi ndio huwa tunanunua hadi karatasi, tuna sanitize, then tunazisilia. Sasa customer akikuja in case anataka mengi, tutakuja tu tumpe zenye anataka.
Now, as you have seen, Ondiro, a lot of people have made tremendous changes on how they live their day-to-day lives. My name is Vincent Odhiambo, and this marks the end of Street Talk this week.
Thank you, Vincent, for that amazing piece. And it's really great to see that people are beginning to adhere to these protocols, and not because they're rules, but because people understand their importance in protecting them against coronavirus and saving their lives. Now, before we end the show, let's take a minute and reflect through some things on Debrief Take Home. Well, we all know that we are living in uncertain times, and as Mutahi Kagwe said, if we continue to act normally, this disease will treat us abnormally. And there's a saying that goes in business, disrupt or be disrupted. The disease is treating businesses abnormally. For a long time, we have shut our eye to the disruption that has been happening right in our backyard. For example, in the media industry, the digital wave that came after the digital migration. But we've refused to look at digital and respect digital as a space where we can create content and put it there. And digital, as Joy Doreen Bira rightfully said, is giving traditional media a run for their money. Media houses are broke, they're laying down people, and people being forced to take pay cuts for these media houses to stay afloat. Problem is, as they do that, they're not even taking into consideration that maybe we should start rethinking our strategy and go more digital to be able to be at par with what is currently happening. Take a look at the health sector. It took coronavirus to show us that we are not producing something as basic as PPE, masks, gloves, garments being imported from China. Such a shame. The virus comes and now we can do that. We can do that for ourselves, creating jobs for our people, giving doctors PPEs when they need it. It took coronavirus to show us that we can make ventilators way cheaply into the country at less than $500,000, yet they're being imported for inflated budgets. It took coronavirus to show us the gaps in the health system. Some counties as shameful as Siaya County and Busia County not even having a total of 20 beds as of now, 100 days into coronavirus later. It took coronavirus to show us that. It's taken coronavirus to show us that in the Ministry of Tourism, there are a lot of gaps there. We depend on international tourism, but how many peak months are there? 4, give or take 5. But how many people live in this country? 47 million. You could bank on the 47 million for domestic tourism, as opposed to the 2.5 million tourists that you expect to come into the country, mostly giving priority to international tourists. As Balala said, the packages of $300 a day for a drive at the Masai Mara of 15,000 Kenya shillings for a room. They're not working anymore, and they're not going to work. But it took coronavirus to take out international tourists so we can open our eyes to the possibility of domestic tourism, of regional tourism, to expose the gaps in infrastructure, to expose the gaps in pricing, to expose the gaps in digitization, experience tourism. Disrupt or be disrupted. I don't know what sector you're in, but disrupt yourself now, because if you don't, coronavirus will catch up with you and the disruption is not as beautiful. That's all we had for you, but always know you can stay in touch with us. We are always online, a click away. You can talk to us at Ndiro Gang on Twitter, at Metropole TV KE. The hashtag to use is Metropole Debrief, or you can send us an email, metropoletv@metropole.co.ke. Until then, stay safe and see you when I see you.